nostalgia, culture, transformation, and fun. And we want you to take the journey with us.
This is Strike a Chord Live Podcast. Good day, everybody. Welcome to another sensational session of Strike a Chord Live Podcast with my dear brother, Collin Harbor. He's right there in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Marcus Ellis. I'm here in Pensacola, Florida. Collin, why don't you tell him who we are?
We are two lifelong friends with a love of baseball, music, motivation, and inspiration mixed with a little bit of nostalgia, culture, transformation, and fun. And we want you to take the journey with us.
This is Strike a Chord Live Podcast. Good day, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Here we are.
How you doing, man?
Play it over again. What was up with that?
Yeah. There's a loop setting on there that I need to turn off. That's great.
Listen to that for the third time, I think.
Right. Well, it was in the middle of it, you know. So yeah, we were about to listen to it for a third time. Good morning, Ryan Gallagher. I see you, brother.
Podcast. Hey, everybody! Thank you for joining Strike a Chord Live Podcast for session 2 of 2023.
Session 2. And man, real quick, in the beginning, I'm going to acknowledge some folks. Ryan Gallagher, I love you, bro. I'll call you later. Nat Banks, who's equipping you for greatness. He said it's Happy Hump Day. Is it already Wednesday? Holy cow.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, and Nat Banks is equipping you for greatness. He's got an incredible podcast kicking off live here in a moment. Love you, Nat. Good to see you. Love you, Ryan. Love you, Peggy Gossman. 2023, Collin. This is the year, man. This is the year that you and I and everybody watching across the globe is going to achieve that big dream.
That is right. And one of my dreams right now is to have more people watching this on YouTube live. So you can go to YouTube. You can actually go to YouTube. If you're listening, if you're watching, you can go to YouTube at Strike a Chord Podcast. That is our handle. You can watch us live there. You can also subscribe to the channel. That would be very helpful. But 2023 is the year. It's your year. It's my year. It's the year that everybody who wants to will achieve their dream.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's everybody who puts their mind to it and does the work, right?
Oh, wait, it's going to require work?
It's going to require work, bro.
Things aren't just going to fall in my lap?
Things can fall in your lap if you do the work.
If you do the work.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, it can fall in your lap, but you have to set the stage. You have to set the table to achieve your goal. You can't just will it into being, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? In that book, Napoleon Hill doesn't say just sit there and think about it,
No, and it may take some time. It may not happen in January. It may not happen January 11th.
Great point. That's such a great point.
December 11th. 2020.
Man, my dear brother Ryan Gallagher, he says, amazing how lucky you get when you're putting in the hard work. That's the quote.
Right, when you're putting in the hard work.
That's the quote of the day right there.
It's amazing how fat you get when you're not putting in the hard work like me. I don't know if we're allowed to say stuff like that anymore, but you know what I mean.
You can say whatever you want, I'm
getting I'm a little bit overweight because I haven't put in the hard work. And it's the same concept for your body as it is for your mind, as it is for your goals, period.
Man, that's so true. And, I did the 75 hard thing, and then, the holidays came and I hadn't been running and walking as much. And yesterday I ran 3 miles and boy, did my knee hurt. Like my knee was like, hey man, you hadn't done this in a couple of weeks. Right. So I know one of the keys to achieving your big dream, and you and I talk about this all the time, is consistency. You cannot stop, whether that be a health goal or a financial goal or a relationship goal. I mean, You and I are married. We know that marriages take work. We can't be complacent. We have to be consistent. But you have to take out the trash. You know, you have to do those things. So I believe to achieve your big dream, first of all, you have to do the work, and then you have to be consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key. So, I mean, do you mind? Like, do you have any goals yourself for this
Yeah,
year, Marcus?
yeah, yeah. So, my buddy Ryan Gallagher and I have talked about it. It's to make $1 million in real estate, to like net $1 million in real estate. Lofty goal, but if you don't set them, here's the thing about
You
that.
mean in revenue, in your revenue, in doing
No, no, no,
deals?
no. I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about net in my pocket.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I did $1 million in revenue last year.
Mhm. Not
That
gross. You're talking about net. You want a net. Yeah, that's what I mean. You want to
right.
net your revenue.
Yes.
Mark
So,
Ellis's revenue.
right. So, let's say, 10 deals a month at 10 grand a piece. That'll do it. Right now, it's already January 11th and I don't have anything on contract. I'm about to get some under contract. Right. So my goals are financially wise is to help out 10 people a month by helping them out of a difficult situation and paying cash for their house. Right. That's a financial goal. Um, Man, do you do the word for the year thing? Did we talk about that the other day?
We did. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so
I
yeah,
had
you have 3
three
words,
words, but
right.
yeah.
So my word is minister.
Right.
And to minister, the verb of minister means to help people. So my big goal is I need to put a number on it. That's another thing. You can't just have an arbitrary goal. You have to put a number on it. So let's say I'm going to help, 3 people out of a majorly difficult situation, which by the way, I'm failing right now because I'm supposed to be wearing blue because today you're supposed to wear blue, which I think, is that a blue shirt you have on?
It is blue, and
Blue.
I'll go ahead and tell you it's not for the reason that you're about to say, but I do have blue on.
So you're supposed to wear blue today in support of human trafficking awareness because there's so much trafficking going on in the world, and it's crazy. My dear sister Alicia Tappan, who we've had on twice, she heads up the Secret Place Home with Kristen and Josh Lipscomb, and then Summer Star is a part of that. So, I want to help out 3 people, and I don't know how that is. If it's helping them find a place to live, or if it's financially, or if it's buying groceries for people. There's a bunch of things that I'm not going to say that I do to help people, but I help people all the time. But the thing is I don't want to. The last thing I want to do, and the Bible tells you not to brag about it, that it just be, let it be between you and God and those things. So financial is that. Physically, I want to help 3 people, like either move or get into a new house or get out of a bad situation or feed them for a while or something like that. And then relationship wise, I always want to improve my relationship with my wife, but my friends, we all have a great relationship in our band. We communicate really well in our band, but there are some relationships that I feel like that I want to be less judgmental. That's my and I've talked about that with Anthony Hart. That I judge people, right? And that's not cool. So I want to be. So those
What
are
do you
those.
think about me? How are you judging me? What do you think about me?
I don't, man. I don't have any
I'm
negative
just
judgments on you. I really don't. I really don't. And if I did, I would tell you. I would say, well, when you do this, and I don't mind if it's live. If you do this, you don't bother me. But I will. But I'm going to be straight up and say there's people who bother me. I do not enjoy braggadocious people. I don't enjoy hot dogs. Right. So, I've answered that question. What are your lofty goals? And then we'll get. And I do want to talk about something that I said that I'm just going to say you were wrong about. And it's that high school team from Texas that played
Hey,
Georgia.
I've told you, I'm not a TCU fan, so them
I
losing, it
know.
doesn't matter to me. And when I was talking about the other, I was talking about what 5 or 6 years ago. But I think back to that for just a second. I think that Georgia didn't win because they're an SEC team. And that's what drives probably everybody in the country crazy. They won because they were the best team. They were actually ranked number 1 all season, and they've got tight ends that are 6'8",
Right.
6'7".
Okay. So let me say something, and we'll get to your goals though. Since 2008,
Mhm.
Every team except for Ohio State in 2014 that's won the national championship has been from the South.
Mhm.
So the Southern leagues, the Southern teams, whether they be Florida State in the ACC,
Mhm.
right, or whatever, the other conferences need to understand that if they want to win a championship, and Ohio State's got it, you've got to recruit from the South.
Mhm. I don't disagree.
Uh,
My goals, 3 goals, and actually, like I said, I think, actually, let me go back for a second. I think a lot of people, like, let's say Baylor people kinda were like, "Yeah, it'd be nice if TCU were to
we're
win."
still talking about football.
But a lot of Baylor people woke up the next day and kinda laughed because TCU lost, and I need to be careful because there's a big rivalry between Baylor so it was kinda funny, right?
But
But
didn't TCU only beat Baylor by 1 point this year?
this year, yes,
Season?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so let's just talk about this for a second. Alabama, which they should not have been in the top 4, but Alabama lost in the last second of their 2 games on the road in 2 of the toughest place to play, which is Knoxville and Death Valley and LSU. TCU got beat by Kansas State. Kansas State. And we saw,
Yeah.
who did Alabama play? Kansas State.
Oh, did they? Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they destroyed them. It was the same game as Georgia TCU. So, anyways, there's
I
the
like the
football.
Baylor-Mississippi game last year in the
Yeah.
Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's a good
I like
game.
the Baylor.
So,
Anyway,
anyways,
let's get on to goals. Let's get on to
football.
goals,
That's a
goals.
segment.
I
Yeah,
have
goals.
3 words. I mentioned them the other day. Urgency,
Yeah,
defend, and recalibrate. And urgency is obvious, right? I mean, you can apply urgency to any situation, whether it's a work situation or a friend situation or a money or a weight or a health situation, spiritual. And that's what I've done too, as well as the words. I've got categories, right?
yeah. I forgot
And I
that
did this based off a template from a guy named Noah Kagan. But defend is a little bit different because what I'm saying with defend is defend your family. And what does
part.
that mean? Well, it means take some family vacations, right? Uh, spend more time with them. We normally don't do stuff for Valentine's Day. This year, I've got a reservation at a nice restaurant for all 4 of us to go to eat dinner. But my oldest daughter kind of snubbed her nose, so it may only be 3 of us. But that's what I mean by defend. The same thing with your spirit. Defend your spiritual life by starting to read the Bible or read Bible studies, and then recalibrate. It's just on a bunch of things like, hey,
Yeah,
um, refocus work, refocus this. So those are my words. And my goals are, revenue goals. I have certain revenue goals, which I aren't quite as lofty as yours. Maybe mine are too low, but I do have a couple of businesses, a business development consulting business, as well as a vendor management business. So I've got revenue goals for both of those, as well as how that impacts my bottom line. Right. But I do,
right.
like I said, I'm really overweight. I weigh more right now than I have in 25 years.
You're kidding
And,
me. You don't look it.
well, people say that sometimes, but it's my gut. I mean, it really is. It's my gut and my butt, I think, really, quite frankly.
Wow,
So
there's nothing wrong with that.
I've
Uh,
got to work. Baby's
well,
got back right now, so I've got to work on that a little bit.
10,000 steps a day, walking 10,000 steps a day will burn a pound of fat a month.
Yeah.
Period. So, but you mentioned something and I completely neglected it. Shantae's here, man. She's dropping some funny comments. We were talking about you this morning, Shantae. The faith aspect, I have a lofty goal to read the Bible in a year. I've never read the whole thing. I mean, like read it. Have you?
No, not from beginning to end. No.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's probably several verses that I haven't read within the Bible.
Right.
Even
So,
once.
we all jump around and do things, go to specific, chapters and verses and things like that. But so I have a lofty goal to read the Bible, and I'm doing this thing where it's a certain amount of chapters a day. And I did it last year, and I got all the way to the half year, and I don't know what happened. I just, here's the thing: we have these big dreams, these big goals. Yeah, Shantae says it takes a year reading 3 or 4 chapters a day. It's awesome. We have these big dreams, these goals, but we stop. And I don't want to say quit because that's a word I don't use like hate. I don't use the word hate and I don't use the word quit, but we stop. And I'm not sure why that is. So to achieve your goals, we talk about it. Yesterday and Tuesday morning testimony in the FounderCon Club in Clubhouse, The word for the day was plan. And that could be God's plan for you that he is already set in stone and done, or how you plan out your year or your day, your week, your month, your year. You've got to plan for it, right? So these are the things that I'm really talking to myself that I need to do. We need to plan, make a plan, and then stick to it and be consistent to hit that lofty goal of $1 million in a year. Now, why did I set such a lofty goal? Let's say I fail, right? Let's say that I hit that target, that I missed that target by 50%. Would you take that?
Would I take $500,000 in revenue?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Well,
Sure.
I can fail. Let's say I'm a major league baseball player and I don't hit that target. I missed that target by 0.333. That's still $300,000. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So I'm setting that goal not to fail. I'm going to go for it with everything I have to the last second of the year. But if I fail, I feel like I have a better opportunity to improve what I did last year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And give you another example. For Strike a Chord Live podcast, we're in season 3. I want 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Maybe even more would be great, but I want 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We've got 8 right now, right? We had 7 last week, and now we've got 8. We picked up 1 in the last week. We want
Man,
1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but if we ended up with 894, it'd probably be pretty good, right?
well, and I love how you said that, because let's teach people a little hack, right? Here's the thing about these big lofty goals and targets. I'm going to say it's going to feel so good, Collin, soon when we have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Mhm.
And you feel that. We've talked about manifesting things, right? That's the thing. It's going to feel so good at the end of the year when I hit that target of $1 million, to know that I did it, to be so proud of myself. You are speaking that into existence. So that big dream that you have, a lot of people, man, including me, hold it back. Oh, I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to be embarrassed and fail, right? I don't want
People
people to
will
know.
know that I failed if I don't reach the
Yes.
goal.
And so when you hold that to yourself, when you hold the cards that close to the vest, then you're going to fail. But if you put it out there and you speak it, and we've had a session on speaking into existence, and we probably need to revisit that again. But I really love where this has gone from. 2023 is the year that you right there, is you're going to hit that target, that big dream you've always wanted to do, but you have to tell people about it. Because the thing is, if you don't tell people about it, then you can't have help. And we're going to do another, our session on Friday. We're going to have Bruce Pulver and Heather Carter, who do an amazing podcast together. Our session on Friday is going to be, you can't go it alone. So if you don't speak it into existence and you don't put it out there, then nobody's going to know that you need any help. And nobody's going to join your team to help you hit that target. You can't go it alone.
You can't go it alone, and it's not just about help, right? It's just not about people wanting to stroke you and you stroke them, or help them and them help you, but it's also about accountability.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Accountability. So that's the other part of the Noah Kagan plan, which is why he actually put out his goals too, and which is why we're talking about our goals. Is it's about accountability. Get somebody as an accountability partner. If you've got the $1 million in revenue goal, you got to have a real estate accountability partner. I bet you do. I know you do. And maybe it's not even official in some cases, but it's someone you talk to about it with. It's someone you're striving to get there. With this podcast, for us to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and to grow it, our accountability is with each other, right?
Right.
Hey
Right.
man, did you upload that? Hey, did you download that? Hey, we didn't post anything on a reel today. We haven't
Right.
posted a YouTube short today. It's the accountability. It's sticking together. It's staying together. And quite frankly, accountability could also be something that's more official, right? It could
Right.
be a meeting with somebody every other week or weekly or once a month, right? It's
So
important
good.
to not only have the goal, not only put them out there, but to then be accountable for them and find someone who will hold you accountable.
Man, it's so good. Um, I love. Hold on, there's a great comment. Michael Kenyon said, "I had the same goal last year, $1 million in revenue, and I hit 240,000." I mean, there you go. That's the thing. But you said something, Collin, that struck a chord with me, and that I realized we haven't done. Um, I have not put a post on my Facebook page or my Instagram or Hey, guess what? I love you group to go subscribe to our YouTube page. Why not? Right. So I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I have 3,000 followers on Hey, and I say we have 3,000 followers on Hey, guess what? I love you. I haven't done that. I need to be held accountable. And the thing is, last week we had this mug, right? And it's backwards. So day one day or day one, you decide. When are you going to put that plan, that big dream into action? And Collin and I are telling you to do it right now. You have to have a team. Like Shantae said, there's more than one reason that you need a team. And then Collin, like what you said is so good. We have to hold each other accountable. And that's not to say be mean or be gruff or to point fingers and say, you didn't do this.
That's the thing. That's what everybody's worried about. And
Right.
and if someone's going to do that to you, that's not going to be your accountability partner, right? That's not going to be. And you can't control what Jim Bob and Jody Mack and Bobby Sue say, right?
I don't know
There are
any of those
going to be the naysayers. There are going to be the people who say, "Oh, you said you're going to do $1 million in revenue. You only did 995,000.
There you go.
What's wrong with you?
Who
What's
cares?
wrong with you?"
Yeah.
There's going to be people who do that. Don't worry about them. We've talked about don't ignore the noise. Don't worry about it. Don't
Well,
worry
that
about
brings up a great point.
the naysayers, as my dad would say.
If you have haters, you're doing something right.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, if you're watching this, you can also go to our Beacons page, which is on the screen. If you're listening to this, it's beacons.ai /strikeachord.live.podcast. And you can subscribe to all of our channels there, whether it's a podcast. Like we said, we're producing now the audio podcast as well. We're going to find a way to get season 2 up as well as season 1 back up. I messed up the RSS feed, so we lost a lot of things that we already put up. But that's my fault. That's a mistake because mistakes happen. Mistakes will happen on the way to your goal.
Are you going to quit?
I'm not going to quit yet. No, just kidding. I'm not going to quit.
That's the point, and that's a beautiful point that you put up. That all right, we made a mistake, and we hear the cliche "fail forward." We're going to do that. Go forward, keep going, keep growing, do the thing. I mean, I'm all about it. I see. I'm going to put this banner up because I see some comments on Facebook that we can't see inside StreamYard. So there's that little thing. But the beacons thing is important because the beacons is like Linktree, right, Collin? It's where we can see where somebody can see all the links to our stuff. Is that correct, Collin?
Yeah, Beacons. Cool. If you go to Beacons, you would be able to see, I want to subscribe to them on Instagram or follow them on Instagram. So you can click there and it goes through, or I want to listen to them on Apple Podcasts. So you click through it. So it's got a link for all, 4 or 5 different podcasts, distribution channels, as well as Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and a few other things that we've got out there. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Let's read this quote from Shantae Horan. She says, I heard a statistic where there's 20% negative Nellies. You can't change them. 60% that go back and forth with positive, 10% that are go-getters, and 3% that are leaders. Stay away from that 20%, 27%. I love that. But when somebody tells me I can't do something, boy, you better hold my cape because I'm going to turn into Superman and do that thing. Right. So I it's just like we were talking about in football, where the other team will say something in the press that is negative, and it just riles up the other team to where they go out and just win massively. Okay, so we're talking about targets and goals and hitting them, but I'm going to ask you a baseball question because we love baseball. I don't even know, what is your favorite Major League Baseball team?
So historically, it has been the Atlanta Braves.
Right, we grew up
growing up in Pensacola and WTBS, right?
Right. Yeah.
Dale Murphy, we've talked about all that. I mean, that team was so much fun to watch, go around the horn and name off all the players. But, I
I'm gonna
live in
stop you real
Dallas,
quick.
so it's kind of the
Dale Murphy is going to be on Strike Record Live podcast in
Dale
2023.
Murphy is going to be. Not only that, I was just last night, he's got this thing now that he does. I think it's called the Dale Murphy Experience or something like that, or
Oh, okay.
whatever. But you fly out there and it's like a 2-day deal, and they do some leadership meetings, and you network with other people, and you eat at the restaurant, and you watch a baseball game. Um, I don't think I'm going to go this year, but I'm going to go sometime. I think that would be so much fun. You get your picture taken with Dale Murphy.
Well, I have a picture of taking. Remember that picture that I met him at the Wahoos?
I do remember.
I
I've
couldn't
got
believe.
comments from Dale Murphy, or whoever his social media person is, comments all the time. Like on LinkedIn, if he puts something out there, I'll say, "Oh yeah, Dale, great comment on leadership," and then it'll come back, "Hey, Collin Harbor, thank you for commenting," or something like that from Dale Murphy himself. So we're basically like that. We are basically like that. But let me tell you, the Atlanta Braves have all historically been my favorite. But because I'm in Dallas, I've kind
Right.
of grown to love the Texas Rangers. And
Ooh.
I'm not like just diehard Rangers fan, but it's kind of what we all talk about when we're standing around at the parties.
Well, the Rangers have boned up a little bit this year in the off season, so that's good. You
Somebody
know,
just said Dale Murphy was their favorite on here. Yeah,
number
like
three.
to
I
see
think
that.
that it might be Ryan Little, but he says
Okay,
Ryan
yeah, he
Little.
said this round. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we're going to have Dale Murphy on because, and the reason being is not just to have a pro ball player. I mean, I've had opportunities to have pro ball players on it, but the message wasn't correct. Dale Murphy, I mean, golly, he was a huge guy. He was a catcher, for crying out loud at first. And, all the naysayers said he couldn't do these things. See you later, Shantae. Have a great day. They said he couldn't do all these things. And he just persevered, man. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. And that's why we want to have him on. I wonder if he bristles to people telling him that he should be in the Hall of Fame or he accepts it.
I actually, yeah, I think that he's probably like, I mean, he's kind of humble, but I think he's kind of like, yeah, I should be.
Yeah, I mean, MVP, multiple years, home run leader, multiple years, all that. Anyways, so there's the baseball part. The nostalgia part was that Collin and I grew up here in Pensacola, Florida. So, anyways, we're talking about your big dream for 2023. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You can achieve any. There is no goal too big for you. Why? Because you are a child of God. And do you think that God put you on this planet to be a failure? No. He has set it up for you to be a baller of all ballers, but it's up to you to grab the brass ring, to accept that challenge, to do the work so that you have those fortunate and lucky days like Ryan Gallagher and I've had. Man, I'm pumped for this, Collin, because I'm going to go out today and I have targets and I've been working on some things and I achieved a target yesterday and I didn't even have to pay for it. And that was the cool thing, which I was willing to pay for it. So
Not
don't
only that,
quit.
you parallel parked this week. That was an
And
achievement.
I sent Collin a picture of, man, I parallel parked like a champ, like a boss in my first try. And no, I don't have one of those Oh, thank you. Shantae said she just subscribed to our YouTube. Thank you so much. And she put the comment in YouTube. We love you, Shantae. Talk about a baller realtor. Look, if you're in Arizona and you need a realtor, Shantae is your girl, man. She's your woman. She's selling houses like crazy right now. And I see Cindy Lucart's here. So Cindy Lucart, she's another realtor. Man, I love my real estate people, Collin.
Yeah, I do too. I love your real estate people. And listen, 2023 is your year. Set your goals, find your words,
Make a
make
plan.
sure they fit what you're trying to accomplish, find some accountability, then execute. Regroup every now and then, right? Regroup. How are you tracking towards your goals? Do they need to be adjusted a little bit, which I think is okay to adjust goals, and keep trucking along. Don't worry about the negative people. Don't worry about the naysayers. Focus on you. Focus on your goals in what you want to achieve and where you are feeling led, and implement.
I don't think anything else that needs to be said except you said trucking, and I just have to tell you on the nostalgia part and the humor part. I saw the funniest clip yesterday of Jerry Garcia and David Letterman playing Scrabble, and Letterman's yelling at him, Jerry, that you do this every time. You have taken my word truck and you put an IN at the end. Trucking is not a word. And he's like, yeah, it is, Dave. Trucking. I guess you had to see it. It was really funny.
I think it sounds funny. It sounds
it sounds funny. And Shantae says, I have a letter, not a word. Ooh, we need to have her back on to see about that. And she's up early and everything. So yeah, Collin just dropped the bomb right there. Have a target, make a plan, do the work, have faith in yourself, have faith in God, reverse that. And man, it's great. Also, I'd like to say, please wear blue today for human trafficking awareness. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I'm sad to say. I know plenty of victims of that. I know plenty of survivors. I shouldn't say victims. I should say I know plenty of victors in that, people who survived that and came out on top. And just be aware when you're out there. There's been some incidences in grocery stores in Nashville and here where family members and me have noticed some things and went and talked to some people, and there were definitely people that were in the grocery stores picking people up. So not to get us off track, Collin, but let's wear blue today in honor of human trafficking awareness.
Yeah, and not to downplay Human Traffic Awareness Day and the awareness about it, but it's also January 11th, which is National Arkansas Day. I lived in Arkansas for 5 years. Anthony, one of our former guests and one of your friends and my friends, is from Arkansas. It's also International Thank You Day. I looked all this stuff up yesterday.
It's International Arkansas Day and International Thank You Day?
No, it's National Arkansas Day and International Thank You.
Obviously, it wouldn't be. Well, yeah, so Anthony Hart's from Arkansas, and man, my dear brother Nate Forrest, who a lot of people know from Clubhouse, is from Arkansas. And then Shantae just said, thank you. I'm wearing blue today instead of red. All right. We love you guys, man. Collin, this has been great. I cannot wait for Friday because we have, like I said, our dear brother, Bruce Pulver, TED talker, author of Above the Chatter, Our Words Matter. Did I get it right?
Above the right? Yeah.
So Bruce Pulver's here, and his
no, it's your words. Above the Chatter, your word. Our words. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. We'll get it right. But Bruce Pulver and Heather Carter have both been guests on before. They have teamed up, and they have an incredible podcast. And I'm super excited. We're going to be talking about creating teams, and that you can't go it alone. You shouldn't go it alone. We should band arm in arm to attack the enemy. Man, we're all warriors. Let's go do this. So I'm really excited about Friday, Collin. And man, this has been a great session today.
It's been good. All right. We will talk to you soon.
All right. Peace out, y'all. We love you.